what are we doing today? For today's challenge, for this month's challenge, we are looking at color palettes. Now let me get rid of one of these lights so I can show you what I'm doing. These two books here by Alina Zoll, and she made these two books 700 color scheme and 480 color schemes, well, color combination books, where she looked at different kind of color combinations, color scheme using hex codes. And I'm using color schemes for this month's challenge. Actually, we're using this particular book here, and the color that we have selected, I'm trying to keep the glare down, guys, is this one right here. Bring you guys in a bit closer to show you exactly which one I've selected. This one right here. Now I have a picture of this up on my Patreon if you want to follow along with me. Actually, the lights make and this make it looks kind of yellow, but it's actually a really light golden yellow and a yellow green, as well as a pink and a blue. And I think this color palette here is really fitting for this image. Let me bring you guys back out a bit. For this image, which we're celebrating, is Easter. Yeah, this is my color challenge for Easter, and I want to use it now. I have my brace on right here. Let me bring you guys back out. Yeah, I have my brace on because we're using color pencils, and usually with color pencils it's a long process and it hurts my hands. So I have my brace on today so that we can get it started. Okay guys, we are going through the long process of color selection, and I do mean long process of color selection. I actually forgot something here. Here am I picking out 4 colors, going through the process of trying to get 4 colors that match those colors in the color scheme book. And when I looked at my piece, my illustration, I realized I only made enough space for 3 colors. So even though I did select 4 colors, it was actually 3 colors I intentionally wanted to do. And to counteract that, and that's like where I realized, I need to make color section, but I'm like, it's all good. We're going to use the colors no matter what. And I decided to use colors that were more popular, colors I know definitely I was going to use in this piece and definitely going to feature. Some of the other colors I selected would have been in the background like that. You know, it's short, I sharpened it. And so the colors that I highlighted are definitely the colors that are going to be used in this piece and are going to be featured heavily. And then I went through the other process of selecting the highlights, the midtones, and the shadows for each colors. For some of those colors, it may not be the same as the mass tones. It was interesting because I found 2 colors that looks like the exact same thing. And I said, okay, I'm going to use both of them anyway. But we went through this, and it was actually, the yellow gave me such a headache because I had 2 yellows that looked like almost the same, but they were not exactly the same for the highlights for that green. And I went in there with my strategy of using, well, actually coloring the bigger areas first. So I'm actually starting with the sky because that is a huge area. I decided to do that because my hand, I know I was going to suffer from hand fatigue. I know I was going to have pain in my hand, so I wanted to make sure that I did the bigger areas first, but so that when I get to the smaller areas and my hand is tired and I want to rest, I could just push through it because it's the smaller areas that I'm coloring now, knowing that I've already done most of it. At least if I finish the sky, I know at least 60% of this illustration would have been done, and I was exactly right. And the color I'm actually coloring the sky with, it was actually the highlight color that I used for the turquoise blue that I use. I use the turquoise blue as the shadowing part of the sky. And then again, here I'm using, I think the Crayola color I actually chose for this was bronze yellow as a shadow, and the mass tone color here is palm leaf, I believe. Yeah, I have a huge set of Crayola color pencils. It's just really nice to be able to select those colors, but it gets exhausting when it comes time to color selection because you have so much to choose from, you know. But I was able to pull it off, and then I'm using yellow. This is actually lemon yellow, and I'm going in there now with the highlighted color, which was unmellow yellow, to color the egg. And that is that's like the third biggest area in the piece. And I know that by the time I'm get through with coloring the egg, at least 80% of the drawing would have already been rendered or colored, and I would have been fine. It would have been beautiful. It would have been okay. I could have taken a rest, but I wanted to push through it because the only other area that is bigger is the bunny himself or herself, and I decided to use this is where I got confused because the color that I selected was actually melon from Crayola. But I noticed that the medium rose gold from the Crayola Color of the World series actually looked the same as the melon. It was kind of kooky. So yeah, I was switching between those two colors a lot for the bunny. And I actually used the deep rose gold as one of the shadow colors for this. And I decided to color the bunny from shadow to up. So his darker parts are actually to the bottom, where his higher piece are actually to the top. We're actually almost done. We have about a minute left to go in this piece. This was interesting. One of the other things that I had to be aware of was actually how I was angling the pencil point. I didn't talk about that a lot. How I was actually angling the pencil point and sharpening, making sure that I had a fresh point every time, because I noticed after a while, like the point itself started to become burnished and it wasn't putting out color, so I actually had to sharpen it a bit. Guys, this was so much fun. Even though I am tired now, my hand is hurting a bit. I'm suffering from hand fatigue. It was so much fun. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. Thank you for everything. It is so beautiful. I think here, you did not see this, but what I did here was I actually colored the grass with a little bit of blue, and I'm showing you the piece now. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and I'll definitely see you in the... Okay guys, we are done with this picture here. You would have heard all my thoughts and struggles. I actually wanted to end the video just now, but it kind of cut short before I was able to end it. So let me know what you think of this in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey, and as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.